Okay, so I have to preface this speech by saying it was written before a half an hour ago. So forgive me if I have to go, wait, disregard that. So bear with me again. To those viewing, Biden did step down, or stepped out of the re-election campaign. So I did want to talk today about democracy and why it is important to fight for it. So I was talking with a close friend recently, and I think someone mentioned earlier that they had unplugged from the current events news cycle, and that several months ago, and that they had felt a sense of peace and calm that they haven't in years. I have to say I was pretty tempted to chase that calm myself. It sounded nice. The world would keep turning, the news would still be reported, but I would be oblivious to it all and probably a lot happier. It really is enticing, and I would never ever judge a person who does turn it all off for the sake of mental health. It's healing, I'm sure. At the same time, I don't unplug because it's very crucial for me to stay informed because, again, of course, I would love to turn away. Of course, I want to hold my hands over my eyes and my ears and just enjoy the silence like Depeche Mode. But how could I? How could I? I can't turn it off even if I tried. It's constantly looping in my mind, everything. Even if I silenced the notifications and canceled my news subscriptions and looked the other way when a headline pops up on my phone, as it does every 2 minutes, it seems, these days, I still would need to know the state of our union, because I love our union. I love America. I need to know because I need to fight and to criticize and to question and to take pride in America. America is an amazing country, but it is also a flawed country. And there's a great quote from James Baldwin. He says, "I love America more than any country in this world, and exactly for this reason, I insist on the right to criticize her perpetually." I also love that we use the she, her pronouns for America. It's just, I take pride in that. So you can be proud to be an American, and you should still critique the societal disparities that prevent our nation from being wholly equitable. And I've talked about this a lot of times on this mic. Part of America's beauty lies in its principles of freedom and democracy. It is a privilege that we can speak out, that I can be here and stand up for or against issues that matter, and I can do so regardless of if my voice stands alone or if it makes up the majority. However, recently we have faced full-scale efforts to undermine the will of the majority, perhaps the most fundamental tenet of democracy that distinguishes a democracy from authoritarian systems. If we have a theory of democracy that is anti-majoritarian, what do we have? Certainly not a democracy. One of the best definitions, if not the best definition of democracy, was given to us in the Declaration of Independence, that government is based in the consent of the governed. A government by the people, for the people. When this principle is compromised, our democracy is compromised. We must remember that the consent of the governed is not just a historical, theoretical concept, but it is a living, breathing mandate that requires our active participation and vigilance. Democracy is not a spectator sport. It demands our involvement, our voices. It demands our commitment to ensuring that every vote counts and every voice is heard. The fight for democracy we face today is both a continuum and an escalation of the centuries of efforts from the patriots that have come before us. We are the stewards of this fragile yet resilient system. By staying informed, engaging in dialogue, showing up on Sundays, and exercising our rights, we can uphold the values that make America truly exceptional and to make me love America. Let us not be passive observers, but active defenders of democracy. Let's ensure that the will of the majority guides our nation while safeguarding the rights of the minority. This balance is the essence of a true democracy, and it is worth fighting for every single day. Now, of course, and this is where it's going to start to maybe not make as much sense in context of the news, but I'll try to work around it. So, of course, for every lofty principle like that, there's been huge asterisks. On all sides of the political spectrum, we, the governed, have witnessed political leaders allowing their personal pride and agendas to overshadow the collective will of the people. True leadership requires humility and the ability to prioritize the needs and desires of the populace over individual ambitions and ego. By doing so, political leaders not only uphold the democratic values that form the foundation of our nation, but also foster trust and unity among the citizens. When leaders genuinely listen and act according to the majority's will, they reinforce the principle that government is by the people and for the people, ensuring that democracy remains strong and vibrant. So I'd like to shout out President Joe Biden for listening to the people, seeing the will of the majority, and acting upon that. Thank you, President Biden.